Hello students, welcome to Eden IAS Miscellaneous Program, in which we'll be covering all those topics which we mostly miss before the prelims examination. So in this segment we'll be covering environment and ecology, and under environment and ecology we'll be covering biosphere reserves. So let's start with the biosphere reserves. Biosphere reserves are the multi-purpose protected areas of terrestrial, marine and coastal ecosystem for both flora and fauna. When we talk about flora, flora refers to the plant life, fauna refers to the animal life. Biosphere Reserve is an international designation by UNESCO for representative parts of natural and cultural landscape extending over the terrestrial, coastal ecosystem or the combination of both. Biosphere Reserve is an in-situ form of conservation, and when we talk about in-situ conservation, which means on-site conservation, it came in existence in year 1971 as a part of the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO's program that is known as Man and Biosphere Program, MAB. MAB aims to establish a scientific basis for the improvement of relationship between people and their environments. MAB is an initiative to combine natural and social sciences, economics, and the education to improve human livelihoods by equitable share of benefits. Now, coming to the criteria for the designation of biosphere reserves, there are certain points which we need to consider, and those are protected area, minimally disturbed, and should carry the value of nature conservation. Core area must be bio-geographical unit representing all the trophic levels. And when we talk about trophic levels, each organism occupies a particular position in a food chain depending on its feeding relationship with other organisms. Now, it is very important to note that the amount of energy decreases at successive trophic levels. Now, coming to the third point, that is involvement of the local communities and use of their knowledge. Now, coming to the zones of the biosphere reserves. There are mainly three zones of the biosphere reserves. One is the core area, second, buffer zone, third is the transition zone. Knowing about the core area, it is an entirely secured and protected ecosystem that contributes to the preservation of the landscape, ecosystem, species and genetic variations. Talking of the buffer zone, an area joining the core area, utilization of training and scientific research and education. Talking of the transition zone, it is an area where social activities can be performed to promote sustainable economic and human development. If we know with this slide that how many biosphere reserves are there in India, then there are total 18 biosphere reserves in India, in which we have 12 biosphere reserves which come under the MAP program, means Man and Biosphere Program. Now coming to the largest biosphere reserve, Gulf of Kutch is the largest biosphere reserve situated in Gujarat, or we can precisely say it is located between the peninsular region of the Kutch and Kathiawar in the state of Gujarat, ranging from 15 to 65 km in width and 150 km in length, having creeks, wetlands and tidal flats. Now coming to the smallest biosphere reserve, that is Dibru-Saikhowa, and it is situated in Dibrugarh and Tinsukia district of Assam, and the flowing river by this is Brahmaputra and Lohit. Coming to the first designated biosphere reserve, that is Nilgiri, was designated in the year 1986, and the latest is Panna, that was designated in the year 2020. Here we are going to provide you the number of and the name of the biosphere reserves which are under MAB, or 6 those who are non-MAB biosphere reserves. So these are the names that you can see from the slide. Now I'm going to deal with the names of the biosphere reserves precisely with their states, vegetation, protected areas, flora, fauna, river, tribal group, which are going to be very important for the examination. And with this video, if you listen to it, you will get benefited of. Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve. It lies in the state of Uttarakhand and it has also been considered as the World Heritage Site by UNESCO. It is a unique transition zone between the mountain range of Janskar and the Great Himalayas. Renamed as the Nanda Devi and the Valley of Flower National Park in the recent times, the protected areas under this Biosphere Reserve are Valley of Flower National Park and Nanda Devi National Park. Vegetation. When we talk about vegetation, we have alpine meadows and dry deciduous. Apart from it, flora is considered as fir, birch, rhododendron and juniper. Talking of fauna, that is snow leopard, brown bear, Himalayan musk deer, mainland zeros, Himalayan thar, goral. We have rivers Alaknanda and its tributaries flowing through this biosphere reserve, including Rishi Ganga, Dhauli Ganga, Pushpapati and Kheer Ganga. We can take an idea to recall this as the name of the biosphere reserve is Nanda Devi. So Alaknanda, so Nanda is common in between and we have Devi in the name of the biosphere reserve. So Ganga has been taken as Devi in the Hindu mythology. So we can take it as Rishi Ganga, Dhauli Ganga, Pushpapati, Kheer Ganga. And the tribal group is found here is Bhotia. Nokrek Biosphere Reserve, which is in the state of Meghalaya and is a mountainous area. We know that Nokrek is the highest peak of the Garo Hills and it is a hotspot for the biodiversity in Meghalaya. When we talk of biodiversity hotspot, it is a biogeographic region that is both a significant reservoir for the biodiversity and is threatened with the destruction. There is a famous cave that is Sizu Cave, is also known as the Bat Cave. It is a very important area for birds. Now, talking of the protected areas are Nokrek National Park, Balpakram National Park. Vegetation here is evergreen and semi-evergreen deciduous forest, bamboo forest. Flora found here is Citrus indica, locally known as Memang Narang. That is a fruit which has got the GI tag of India, and also Meghalaya is considered to be the home to the mother of all the citrus fruit. Now, talking of the fauna, we have red panda, Asian elephant, Royal Bengal tiger, wild water buffalo, which is an endangered species, and the river flowing through is River Simsang, known as Someshwari, Ganol, Dareng. The tribal groups which are found here are Garo, related to the hill, name of the hill, that is Garo, Banias and Hazoons. The Great Nicobar Biosphere Reserve. The location is Andaman and Nicobar Island. Vegetation is tropical wet evergreen forest and the protected areas are Campbell National Park, Galathea National Park. Fauna found here is Nicobar scrub fowl, the Nicobar long-tailed macaw, saltwater crocodile, giant leatherback sea turtle. The tribal group here found are Onge, Sompen, Nicobaris and Jarawas. Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve. The location is Tamil Nadu, Laccadive Sea. It is the first marine biosphere reserve in Asia. Due to the chain of low island, it is also known as the Adam's Bridge or Ram Setu. The vegetation found here is dugong seagrass, coral reefs, seagrass beds, and mangroves. The protected area is Gulf of Mannar National Park. The flora found here is pearlbank, Pinacotada reddita, Pinacotada fucata, rhizophoras, etc. Now talking of the fauna, we have dugong, Indo-Pacific bottlenose dolphin, spinal dolphin, common dolphin, Rizzo dolphin, melon-headed whale, dwarf sperm whale. Manas Biosphere Reserve, which is located in the foothills of the eastern Himalaya, that is Assam. It is considered as the Natural World Heritage Site by UNESCO. It has Tiger Reserve and Elephant Reserve, Chirang Ripu Elephant Reserve under Project Elephant. It shares its border with the Royal Manas National Park in Bhutan. The vegetation is monsoon forest, semi-evergreen forest, grassland, etc. The protected areas are Manas National Park and Wildlife Sanctuary. Talking of the fauna, it has one horn rhino, golden mahseer, Assam roofed turtle, Hisbit hare, golden langur, pygmy hog, and wild water buffalo. The river is Manas. Sundarban Biosphere Reserve, which is located in West Bengal. It is the largest delta and the mangrove forest in the world. It is also considered as the UNESCO's World Heritage Site, Ramsar Site, and the protected area as Sundarban National Park. So, one thing to be kept in mind, that is a Biosphere Reserve. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Ramsar Site. Sundarban is also a national park. So, talking of the vegetation, we have mangrove forest. Flora is Sundari tree. So, we can consider as Sundarban and Sundari tree. Just for the just to recall, apart from fauna, we have the Royal Bengal tiger, Gangetic dolphin, olive ridley turtle, wild boar, Indian grey mongoose. The river is Ganga, Brahmaputra, and Meghna. The Bengali folk epic Manas Mangala mention about the Neti Dopani, that is a location for the visitors in Sundarban. Simlipal Biosphere Reserve, which is located in Odisha, which is named after the abundance of the red silk cotton trees growing in this area. It is a UNESCO World Network of Biosphere Reserve, and there is a famous fall is Barafani Fall, which is on the river of Buddha Balanga, which is a tributary of Brahmani. We can find tiger reserves and elephant reserves here. The protected areas are Simlipal National Park, Hadgar Wildlife Sanctuary, Kuldiha Wildlife Sanctuary. Talking of the vegetation, we have sal forest, moist deciduous forest, tropical moist broadleaf forest, and tropical moist deciduous forest. Grassland savannas. Flora can be found as in form of eucalyptus. Fauna is Bengal tiger, Asian elephant, gaur, and chausinga. The rivers flowing through this is Buddha Balanga, Baitarni, Subarnarekha. Talking of the tribal groups, which are Ho, Munda, Gonda, Erenga Kharyas, and Mankadia tribes. Dibru-Saikhowa Biosphere Reserve, which is located in Assam, is the smallest biosphere reserve, and it has a largest willow swamp forest in northeast region. The vegetation found here is semi-evergreen forest, deciduous, littoral and swamp forest, and patches of wet evergreen forest, canebrakes and grassland. The protected areas are Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. The fauna found here is white-winged wood duck, Bengal tiger, Indian leopard, clouded leopard, small Indian civet, Malayan giant squirrel, Chinese pangolin, Ganges dolphin. The river following through this is Lohit, which flows from the north, and Dibru from the south. Dihang Dibang Biosphere Reserve. which is located in Arunachal Pradesh. The vegetation found here is from the tropics to the mountain tundra as subtropic broadleaf forest, subtropic pine forest, temperate broadleaf forest, temperate conifer, subalpine woody shrub, alpine meadows, that is mountain tundra, bamboos and grassland. The protected area is Mauling National Park, Dibang Wildlife Sanctuary. The fauna here is Mishmi takin, musk deer, red panda, Asiatic black bear, Mechuka giant flying squirrel, Mishmi hill giant flying squirrel. The river found here is River Dibhang and River Dibang. The tribal groups are Mishmi and Komkar. Panchamari Biosphere Reserve. The location of this Biosphere Reserve is in Madhya Pradesh and the protected areas are Satpura National Park, Bori Wildlife Sanctuary, Panchamari Wildlife Sanctuary. There is a hill station known as Dhupgarh and the Dhupgarh is the highest peak. When we talk about other hills, we have Mahadev Hills, Mekai Hill Range and Vindhyan Satpura. Talking of the vegetation, we have tropical moist deciduous, tropical dry deciduous, subtropical hill forest, and the flora is teak, sal, wild mango, silver fern, jamun, arjun, and kudapa almond. When we talk about fauna, we have gaur, cheetal deer, sambar deer, rhesus macaw, four-horned antelope, Indian wild frog, cirrus crane, sacred grove bush frog. When we talk of rivers, we have Tawa river and the tribal group is Gond and Korkus. So dear students, in this video we'll be having this much of Biosphere Reserve. For the next list of Biosphere Reserves and the informations related to them, we will have more videos, the second and the next part. So all the best and have a good day.